Well, hello, hello. You know I couldn't stay away for another day because my gang stalking never stops. It never sleeps. Welcome to December the 3rd, 2025. It is a few minutes before 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what I have playing in my background, if you can hear it, and, I like to give a little shout out to somebody doing some good work. I found this. This isn't quite maybe the standard EMDR type of practice, which stands for eye rapid movement desensitization, some EMDR, something like that. But it is psychotherapy and much needed in today's world, especially in the world of gang stalking. And the way that I found this, well, when I was trying to pull it up here to share, is by typing in, calling up EMDR, healing music for bedtime sleep. And these are provided by Maggie Kelly LPC. Maggie Kelly LPC. This is somebody doing really good work on YouTube, putting these out. And I have tried several of these to sleep with, and I think that they are very helpful. However, there's certain ones that there was one that really just bothered me. It just agitated me or something. I don't know. Anyway, so you might want to check those out though. Maggie Kelly LPC EMDR healing music for bedtime and for sleep. It's great. So that's something that you could use if you I mean if you are a targeter or you're just trying to understand targeting. So, good evening and welcome to my show. It's every day because gangs like PERPS just don't give up, and neither do we, right? STIs, we have to stay strong. There was a very good. Let me just give it a minute or so before I get started because I've got a hell of a bomb, a mind blower to share with you tonight. I want to start off by talking about my entrance into today. I was off for a couple days. I had to take some time off, and I went back to work. And I had to leave a little bit early, and I was still feeling a little bit tired, not getting enough rest, a bad shoulder, some things that are going on, and I went to go to work. And thank God I set my clocks a little fast. I usually have a few extra minutes to spare. I usually arrive earlier now. I mean, I was never really a late kind of person, but I was kind of like, just sliding into home at the last second kind. But I've gotten myself to the point where I'm actually just somewhat too early. I don't know if this is a good thing or not. But this morning, before I left my house, I heard the sirens running their, gang stalking program, and I can just sense and feel. Now I'm probably not right every time. I'm probably not right about this every time, but I can usually sense when they're doing it to harass and to stalk. Well, once I got into my car, after I heard the initial sirens, they had a roadblock up ahead, and it was street theater esque. And there was an ambulance in the middle of the road. Like, here's the thing, I have been scared more ways than one, threatened, bullied, harassed, smeared, poisoned. I have learned just about all the horrifying things that I needed to know per uh, what these abusers are doing. I mean, enough that I might not be able to explain it, in the grammatically correct way, but I get it. I know what's going on. I've done the homework. I've done the research. I've done it to the point where I have exhausted myself. All right. So I get it. I know what they're capable of, what the technology is capable of, what psychopaths and narcissists are, what they are capable of doing, how they run their smear campaigns, blah, 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 blah. I get it to the full effect. And these people know that I get it. So they set up a roadblock, and I was just like, you know what? Stay with it. Stay with it. Everybody's turning around. Everybody's turning around. Just sit here, wait it out, because it's not going to last long. Well, I was looking at the time and I was like, I don't want to be late. So I decided to turn and go another way, which was a little bit more of the longer way around, just a little bit more of a longer way around, a few minutes out of my way, maybe 6 minutes, something like that. And lo and behold, when I show back up, when I meet the one of the roads where the road that was blocked would have come out to, the other road that I had accessed, I had seen that the school buses were getting through. Everybody's getting through now. Okay, so the road's not blocked anymore. Probably not. So in that 5 or 6 minute time, they had opened up the road, which there was no real reason for it to be closed. There wasn't like any sort of accident or interesting looking thing happening there. It was just all for my benefit. Street theater to threaten, bully, and harass, intimidate, stalk, torture, whatever it may be. I'm not sure how these people choose their victim and why these people are all they're all relying on one or two or five sociopaths or psychopaths rulings. In other words, these puppeteers, these satanic masters, these satanic followers of the master, I should say, just follow suit. They're like, hey, I've given my soul to Satan, and we're just going to follow along. So, yeah, it was a very good performance that they decided to do today. And, of course, then came the sirens. It was all one of their shitty shows. Now, my neighbor is outside, and she's probably trying to listen in because maybe she wants to be me. I'm not sure. Those are the Three's Company neighbors. I can hear them slamming their car doors outside. All right, on to the next part of the show. Then today, let's see. There were the gift card gal pals today. These girls were interesting because there was certain work sites that I go to, and my job is different every day. But for some reason, this one in particular in the Shepherdstown, West Virginia area, for some reason, people want to swarm me. They want to be on the same road that I am. They want to be at the same place where I'm turning at the same time. It's very weird, but you would have to be in my car and in my body to experience exactly what I am feeling at that moment. And I'll tell you why, because we are hypersensitive and hyper aware. We are sensitized, and not necessarily all in a good way. Sometimes it's good for our protection, and it alerts us to danger. But it's not always good because it retrains our brains, and we think very differently now. We behave very differently now. We aren't the same person that we once were, and we see the world as very corrupt and evil. And I would say most people are going to hell at this point. It's seriously, more people are going to hell than are going to heaven. I mean, it's a given. Too many people are involved in this kind of nefarious thing. This is very similar to when Jesus was crucified on the cross. This is very much the same kind of things. that are happening today. So what happens is these people in this community, in this particular area, are wanting to be where I'm turning, my very last turn off, which is like a dead end parking lot, let's say. I'm parking my car and I'm going into work. These are where people want to kind of put the most emphasis on as far as vehicular stalking and harassment goes. This is where they're kind of honing in, and I can feel it and I can sense it and I can see it. It's a thing where I can actually visually see what's manifesting. So it's all of those things all at once. It's not just a perception, if you will. So then what's happening is, and at this parking area, okay, we're gonna try to remember this space, okay, where all the cars kind of accumulate all at once, just to see me go in, see me go out. It seems like there's more heavy traffic on this road now. Anytime if I would have to come out to my car, somebody's always watching. And there were some new neighbors who moved just across the street, but they were very silent and uh, very absent today when I was there. There was no sign of them, but there is a red SUV that is parking up on the other side of where I'm working and hanging out on this side street. And they're pretty much there all day. Now, I was wondering if they maybe live up there, da da da, like I'm overreacting, da da da. But it's weird how I'm seeing this vehicle. Then at the very end of my job today, when I was getting in my car, which is interesting because these people already knew to be outside ahead of me getting into my car. Um, and several people had noticed the person who was taking over for me had actually come out to their vehicle and saw that I was taking pictures and had noticed these two cars that were sitting out in front immediately upon me being outside. They were already there. And when I was stepping out, the threat was definitely on site. They were brighting, running the flashers, and one car was kind of like parked in front of the other, but they were brighting, so the cars were still running and the lights were going. And it was two cars, and I believe it was two females, but the vehicle in the back was the red SUV. The first car was like a smaller, uh hold on a second, let me look at the pictures. It's kind of a taupey color. Maybe it's a Honda. It's a four-door. And I'm looking at the plate right now, and I could read the plates off if I wanted to. And then the other one, I think it's a Honda too, a Honda CRV. And it's a red SUV, but the first one is a four-door car. So like a taupey color. Well, what was interesting was the woman, Hispanic woman, the female in the second car, the red car, which I think had been actually stalking me all day from the other location, from the back of the place that I was in, um, from the back today, had come around to the front, and she's behind this taupey colored car. And she gets out of the car and she goes up to the taupe colored car and she takes something from them. And I was thinking maybe it's one of their gift cards. So I called them the gift card gal pals because who knows what that was all about. But anyways, I was getting ready to pull out, and yeah, I'm just assuming that maybe they were gift carded by the other. And the first one was too pussy to step out of the car. So but I got the plates by photo, and I could read them off if I want to. I've had to get 3 different license plates today, so I have those. If you want me to read them, I don't mind. Um, but yeah, something just felt really off about that. It's like, did they not have anything better to do today? Yeah, I mean, I think there was something else that I wanted to say about this, but yeah, this is pretty sick stuff that these people are doing. And they made it very obvious. And so I had thought about how I could handle the situation, and I was actually contemplating going against the direction I was headed so that I could get the plates up a little closer. But luckily, they drove off, so I was able to get them because they were literally right in front of me. So it worked out perfectly. They got all confused themselves and didn't it just gave it all away. So but anyways, they're actually coming. They're basically telling me that they are. Oh, here comes the sirens right now. They're basically telling me that they are honing in, and they are coming in closer and trying to intimidate and bully and harass me in a as intimate a space as they can actually get to me. And here comes the sirens down the road, but we're going to carry on. We're going to go on to the blue Tesla number 333 dash 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 dash. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but we're going to stay with that. It's a blue Tesla, and they were turning onto Kelly Island Road in Martinsburg, West Virginia today. And they were the perp on the way home that was doing the lead stalking and harassment. And if you're not sure what I mean by this, feel free to catch a glimpse of any one of my other 300 plus videos out there that would explain to you exactly what it means when somebody is stalking you from the front. They know where you're going to be. They follow you by their remote neural monitoring. They get, signals so that they know to be, at a certain place at a certain time, so they can slow you down. They can drive in front of you. This is a form of harassment, organized crime, and stalking, and terrorism, and and bullying and intimidation and all that good stuff. So this was a very good performance by everybody involved today. Too bad it doesn't make the cut as far as it goes into the organized crime vault. I mean, you guys are just terrible at this, and you're getting worse at it, and you're getting easier and easier to recognize every day. So you're really not doing such a great job with this. It's terrible. So, but yeah, I guess I'm going to end this. I'm going to try to keep my videos a little bit shorter so I can just kind of get straight to the point and let people know what's going on. Um, there's a couple things I want to end on. Uh, Never underestimate someone else in gang stalking. I don't care if the person's a doctor out there telling about gang stalking. I don't care if the person is this or that or blah, blah, blah. I know this very well myself. I might not be able to articulate everything I'm trying to say all the time, but I know this like the back of my hand. I'm very intuitive. I'm very smart. I've figured this out for the most part. There are things that I probably need to take as a lesson, and so that I can, you know, um, try to counter this in the other direction. I get that. But never underestimate somebody else's gang stalking, because some people will try to say this isn't government military, this isn't this and that. I beg to differ. These people are coming at me, and some people will say, well, if you have this full onslaught, people driving on the roads, gang stalking you, blah, 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 and you're in some serious stuff, yet you're probably not, wholeheartedly government military gang stalked. No, no, these things are false. Be careful who you listen to and what they try to tell you, because nobody should try to denounce or to lessen the severity of somebody's stalking and somebody's targeted harassment. Nobody should be doing that, because I can assure you that this is a full on daily battle with these people. It is a full-time job on top of trying to live a normal life. It is a full-time gig, and I can guarantee I'd put money on it. I'd put my life on it that it is government and military, 100% with my targeting. And I am also, and you can listen to any of my videos, I am full on, full throttle, like full community based. Um, terror and stalking and harassment and bullying and intimidation nonstop by people in the community everywhere I go, day in, day out, 24/7. Okay. So I'm sorry for those of you out there who are trying to lessen this. Don't listen to those people. They are listen, I realize I probably do that too, like trying to make you think that this isn't as bad as it is, okay? But it is. It's really as bad as it is. It really is. This is, put it this way. Let me tell you this. Back in a day, I was a fool because I thought that everybody was great like me and nice like me and non-judgmental like me and a good hardworking person like me and blah 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 blah. And I saw evil in the world, but I didn't see evil in the world. You know what I mean? Like I saw stuff and I know that there were bad people in the world and blah blah blah, and it was just kind of summed up to that. I didn't understand evil in this mode, in the targeted mode. And I would read the books at the onset of my targeting, like in 2017 or so. I would read the books and I'd try to understand it, but this was too early on. So now I understand evil and I understand communities of evil and I understand cult of evil and I understand people who congregate and spread and smear and maliciously gossip and I mean who are evil. I understand people are going to hell in mass quantities. Get it. It is, don't try to let other TIs, although they mean well and they are good at what they teach, they are. Don't let them try to downplay what's happening here. It's those of us who go through life trying to smile and be happy and be energetic and be grateful and be, hopeful. That is a mechanism to not only help us persevere and to survive, because sometimes it's a survival skill, but it is just sometimes it's just naturally in us. But I can assure you that that is a sugar coat, that that is a protective mechanism, that it is I wouldn't say it's a false facade. I would just say it's the inner person trying to still be who they are, just in a world where they know that it's really not quite cutting it. It's not quite up to par. Like, in other words, everything we've been taught is all false, fake lie. And now we're being spoon fed the reality. Okay. This is the problem. All right. This is a gaslight in itself. It's in that sense. So don't, I'm tired of listening to people who are trying to downplay what's really going on. And yes, I probably do it too, somewhat to help protect people. But they're really doing bad things to people. They're really doing bad things. And some of the greatest speakers out there, some of the greatest targeted individuals out there who can give you the most information, most articulate viewpoint, and they have the proper words to say. And they might not be 100% correct about how it's all going down, but they're able to teach you about the weapons and blah, 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 the AI technology and all that. Great. But don't let them try to downplay the situation for you, because I can assure you it is far worse than even I will lead on to show you. Because if you see me in person, I usually have to try to keep an upbeat attitude, sing along to my songs in the car, try to find ways to cope and handle the stress, because it's very great, because these people are doing the worst kinds of evil. And I would have never assumed that people were evil like this. I would have never assumed that people could even, come up with these kind of things. So I'm going to end it here, but I want to mention that on the radio today, on my way to work this morning, I had heard the newscaster, and I'm sorry that I can't give credits. I was too busy trying to think about driving and driving around the faux street theater uh, ambulance in the middle of the road. And if you don't understand street theater, you can look it up under organized crime, mobbing. Sometimes it'll, gang stalking. The word is, it's hard to say whether that fits or not anymore. But the saying was, you can outgrow people, places, and patterns. Of course you can. You can outgrow it. Of course you can. And the people who chose by their own decisions, whether it's an ex, whether it's an ex spouse, an ex family member, they chose to stay where they are without coming to you and communicating and trying to make peace or make amends. That is on them. They can stay where they are. But you can outgrow people, places, and patterns. And I want to leave it with that. Feel free to hit the thumbs up. I forget to tell you that. I have a GoFundMe channel to help me survive and be able to pay for doctor's bills and just to be able to live on top of everything else. Hmm. Oh, I was thinking if I did the other video this morning. I think I did on the beard video, which is interesting. So check that out, and feel free to check out my channel. It's the same old pretty much every day. It's just a little different how they're running the operation. Sorry, I don't have anything brand new to give you, but feel free to check out some of my earlier work. Actually, the best stuff, you guys, is the stuff that came out in November 2024, which you'd have to do some digging probably on YouTube to uncover. All of those videos that I had done are the original, me telling my full story, kind of like my book shared on YouTube. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. Yeah. So maybe I'll do that again and remake those videos for the ones that had gotten lost. And let me know in the comments if you have something to say. I'm always looking for new information to help me survive this too. It's a really hard program to survive, you guys. And I wonder how we are all going to do it, because it seems like more and more people are being targeted. And it's coming to that. It's coming to that where the world is going to have to choose. You are either going to be a targetee or a targeter. And this is the way of the Lord. This is the Bible, and this is the end times. And whether it be that we still have a good ways to go, or this is it, it's hard to say. But in all honesty, I think that a lot of people are probably being targeted now, especially with the technology, because the bad guys can sit um, behind these weapons, and it's a harder thing to prove. So, oh, excuse me, I've got to sign out for the night. And I appreciate those of you who are listening to my channel and chiming in and supporting my work. Again, I wish that I was doing something a little bit more productive with my time, but outing the bad guys is the very best thing that I can do right now. The very best thing that I know to do for the awful ways of the world and how wicked people are and what they're doing to others, what they're doing to innocent people and innocent animals and the like. So All right. Stay tough and hang in there. All of you TIs who need the inspiration, feel free to check out some of my videos on that and like and subscribe and share. Please share. Share the information. We need people to survive this. It's important that we survive this. It gets hard. It gets hard to survive it and want to survive it, but we need to teach others. We need to educate and help others to survive something that we're all eventually going to go through. But there's a good many of us who share. Good night.